The Quantum Awakening. The vast emptiness of space stretched endlessly, punctuated only by the faint twinkle of distant stars and the looming shadows of gas giants. In this cosmic desert, a cluster of massive arc ships drifted silently, their metallic hulls dulled by eons of stellar dust. These were the last bastions of humanity, sleeping titans carrying the precious cargo of an entire civilization in cryogenic stasis. For 500,000 years, these arcs had voyaged through the cosmos, their passengers oblivious to the passage of time. But today, something was different. A ripple in the quantum fabric of space-time brushed against the lead arc's sensor array, invisible yet profoundly significant. Deep within the primary arc, in a chamber bathed in soft blue light, a single stasis pod began to hum. Frost melted away from its transparent cover, revealing the face of a woman in her early 30s, her features sharp and intelligent even in repose. This was Dr. Zora Chen, the Arc's chief scientist and the first human designated to awaken in case of an anomaly. As consciousness returned to her, Zora's eyes fluttered open. For a moment, disorientation clouded her mind. Then, with a gasp, she sat bolt upright, memories flooding back. Earth dying. The Exodus. The long sleep that was supposed to last a mere 1,000 years. Computer, she croaked, her voice hoarse from centuries of disuse. Status report. A holographic display flickered to life before her. Greetings, Dr. Chen. A soothing AI voice responded. Current date, June 7th, 2,502,2023 CE. All systems functional. Anomaly detected in quantum subspace, triggering revival protocol. Zora's eyes widened in shock. 2,502,023. That's impossible. We were only supposed to sleep for 1,000 years. Correct, Dr. Chen. The extended stasis duration was not part of the original mission parameters. Analyzing cause now. As Zora struggled to process this information, she became aware of a strange tingling sensation throughout her body. She looked down at her hands, flexing her fingers. They moved with a fluidity and strength she didn't remember possessing. Computer, run a full biometric scan on me. Compare to pre-stasis baseline. The AI complied, and a moment later, a detailed holographic representation of Zora's body appeared, highlighted with various annotations. Scan complete. Anomalies detected. Muscle density increased by 85%. Bone structure reinforced. Neuroplasticity at 300% of baseline. Cellular regeneration accelerated. Detecting low-level psychic emanations. Zora's scientific mind raced. The extended stasis, it must have triggered some kind of accelerated evolution. But how? And why? Before she could ponder further, a notification chimed. Dr. Chen, the revival sequence for the command crew has been initiated. Estimated time to full consciousness, 10 minutes. Zora nodded, pushing aside her questions for the moment. She had a job to do. Prepare the briefing room, and keep monitoring that quantum anomaly. As she made her way through the cavernous arc, Zora couldn't help but marvel at how unchanged everything looked. 500,000 years, yet the corridors and chambers remained pristine, a testament to the ingenuity of their ancestors. In the briefing room, Zora watched as the command crew began to stir. Captain Aiden Takeshi, his usually stoic face creased with confusion. Dr. Emily Mbiki, the Arc's head of genetics, blinking rapidly as she adjusted to the light. And Lieutenant Commander Jack O'Neill, already attempting to stand despite his grogginess. Easy there, Jack, Zora cautioned, helping him up. We've been asleep for a lot longer than we planned. As the others regained their senses, Zora quickly brought them up to speed. The shock on their faces mirrored her own initial reaction. 500,000 years, Captain Takeshi whispered, his voice a mix of awe and disbelief. How is that even possible? Dr. Mbiki, ever the scientist, was already hypothesizing. The quantum stasis fields must have interacted with some unknown cosmic phenomenon. It's the only explanation for both our extended sleep and these biological changes. Changes? O'Neill asked, looking down at his body. I do feel different, stronger. Zara nodded. We've all undergone significant physiological enhancements, increased strength, accelerated healing, and there are indications of latent psychic abilities. A heavy silence fell over the room as they grappled with the implications. Humanity had slept through 500,000 years of cosmic history. Who knew what awaited them out there? As if in answer to their unspoken question, the ship's AI spoke up. Attention. Intercepting long-range communication. Alien in origin. Translating now. The crew held their breath as a holographic screen materialized, displaying scrolling alien text alongside its translation. The jewel of Sector 9, Earth, continues to be the most sought-after planet in the galaxy. Its self-sustaining biosphere and inexplicable energy shield have baffled scientists for millennia. The Galactic Council reiterates that any unauthorized attempts to breach the planet's defenses will be met with severe consequences. The origin and purpose of Earth's transformation remain the greatest mystery of our age. The message continued, but the humans had heard enough. They stared at each other, a mix of emotions playing across their faces: confusion, excitement, fear, and a growing sense of determination. Earth, Captain Takeshi breathed. It's alive, and apparently the most valuable planet in the galaxy. Zara's mind was already racing ahead. Captain, we need to accelerate the revival process for the rest of the Ark. Whatever happened to Earth, whatever caused our extended stasis, we need answers. Takeshi nodded grimly. Agreed. But we're 500,000 years behind the rest of the galaxy. Our technology, our knowledge. It's all ancient history now. Then we adapt, O'Neill said firmly, a glint of excitement in his eyes. We've already evolved physically. Now it's time to play catch-up with the rest of the universe. Dr. Mbiki, who had been quietly contemplating, spoke up. We should focus on understanding these changes to our physiology. If we can harness these new abilities, particularly the psychic potential, it could give us an edge. As the command crew debated their next moves, Zara found herself drawn to a viewport. She gazed out at the star-strewn expanse, knowing that somewhere out there was Earth, transformed into something beyond their wildest imaginations. A memory surfaced, the last message their ancestors had left before sealing them in stasis. Return when you're ready. Had they known? Had they somehow engineered this, setting humanity on a path of accelerated evolution? Zara's fingers tingled, and for a brief moment, she felt a connection to something vast and incomprehensible. The feeling passed quickly, but it left her with a sense of purpose. We have work to do, she announced, turning back to the others. We're going home, but first, we need to understand who we've become and what we're up against. As if in response to her words, the ship hummed to life around them. Lights brightened, and dormant systems began to activate. Throughout the Ark, stasis pods began their wake-up sequences, bringing the first wave of humanity back to consciousness. In that moment, as confusion and excitement spread through the awakening Ark, a new chapter in human history began. They had slept for 500,000 years, evolving in ways they were only beginning to understand. Now they faced a galaxy that had moved on without them, where their homeworld was both a mystery and a coveted prize. The universe had changed, but so had humanity. And as Dr. Zara Chen looked at her fellow survivors, she knew one thing for certain. They were ready to shock the stars. Cosmic heist. The cavernous hangar of Starbase Zenith hummed with activity. Beings from 1,000 worlds milled about, their diverse forms a testament to the galaxy's rich tapestry of life. Amidst this cosmic bazaar, 4 figures moved with purpose, their features obscured by hooded cloaks. I still can't believe we're doing this, whispered Jack O'Neill, his hand instinctively reaching for a weapon that wasn't there. Dr. Zara Chen's voice came through their subvocal comms. We don't have a choice, Jack. We need that origami drive if we're going to make it back to Earth. It had been 3 months since humanity's awakening. 3 months of frantic learning, adapting, and planning. They had managed to cloak their Ark ships and move them to a hidden location. But that was just the beginning. The galaxy had changed beyond recognition, and humanity was woefully behind. The Grand Galactic Exhibition was their best chance. Held once every century, it showcased the pinnacle of technological achievement from across the universe. And this year's crown jewel was the origami drive, a revolutionary propulsion system that could fold space itself, reducing interstellar travel times from years to mere hours. Captain Aiden Takeshi's gruff voice cut through their thoughts. Remember the plan. We're here to observe only. No engagement unless absolutely necessary. As they approached the central pavilion, a holographic display sprang to life, showcasing the origami drive. It was a thing of beauty, a crystalline structure that pulsed with otherworldly energy. Dr. Emily Mbiki gasped. It's more advanced than we imagined. Look at the quantum entanglement matrix. And more heavily guarded, Takeshi added grimly, nodding towards the contingent of Praetorian guards, 8-foot-tall warriors encased in living metal. Zora closed her eyes, reaching out with her newly developed psychic senses. Over the past months, they had discovered that their extended stasis had awakened latent abilities in the human genome. Telepathy, telekinesis, and even limited precognition were now within their grasp, though still unpredictable. I'm sensing something, Zora murmured. A presence, familiar yet alien. Before she could elaborate, alarms blared throughout the station. A voice boomed over the intercom, a cascade of alien languages followed by Gal Standard. Attention all beings. This is not a drill. Unidentified vessels have breached our outer defenses. All non-essential personnel, please proceed calmly to the nearest evacuation point. Chaos erupted. Aliens of all shapes and sizes rushed towards the exits, their panicked cries filling the air. In the confusion, Zora locked eyes with Takeshi. This was their chance. New plan, the captain barked. We're taking the drive. Now. They sprung into action. O'Neill and Takeshi moved towards the guards, their enhanced strength and reflexes turning them into blurs of motion. Mbiki interfaced with a nearby console, her fingers dancing over alien controls as if she used them all her life. Zara focused on the origami drive itself. Reaching out with her mind, she probed its defenses. Layers of exotic energy fields and quantum locks protected it. But there, at the heart of its security, she sensed something unexpected. A thread of human ingenuity. It's us, she breathed. Somehow, some part of this technology. It's human in origin. A Praetorian guard, having broken free from Takeshi's grasp, charged toward Zora. Without thinking, she raised her hand. A pulse of psychic energy erupted from her palm, sending the guard flying across the room. Whatever you're going to do it fast, O'Neill shouted, grappling with another guard. Zora closed her eyes, reaching deep into the well of her newfound powers. She could feel the drive's security systems, complex beyond imagination. Yet with an underlying logic she instinctively understood. Layer by layer, she unraveled its defenses. The origami drive pulsed, its crystalline structure resonating with Zora's psychic frequency. With a final surge of mental energy, she broke through. The protective field dropped, and the drive floated gently into her waiting hands. I've got it. Let's move. They fought their way through the panicked crowd, their enhanced physiques allowing them to move with inhuman speed and agility. As they neared their extraction point, a new complication arose. A squadron of sleek, predatory ships dropped out of hyperspace, their designs unlike anything in known space. They opened fire on the station, their weapons tearing through its defenses like paper. It's them, Mbiki realized. The unidentified ships that triggered the alarm. But who are they? As if in answer, a masked figure materialized before them, flickering with holographic static. When it spoke, its voice was a synthesized growl. "So, the children of Earth awaken at last. Did you think you could hide forever?" Takeshi stepped forward, his voice steady. "Who are you? What do you want with us?" The figure laughed, a chilling sound. "We are the shadows of humanity, guardians of your legacy. For 500,000 years, we have watched over Earth, waiting for your return. Now, the game begins in earnest." With that, the hologram vanished. The attacking ships ceased fire and vanished back into hyperspace as quickly as they had appeared. Stunned silence fell over the human team. The implications were staggering. They weren't alone. Some fragment of humanity had survived, evolved, and now wielded power that dwarfed the rest of the galaxy. "Captain," O'Neill said quietly, "I think we just got played." Takeshi nodded grimly. "They created this chaos to help us steal the drive. But why?" "Questions for later," Zora interjected. "Right now, we need to get back to the Ark before the Galactic Council figures out what happened." They made their way to their hidden shuttle, the stolen origami drive secure in a containment field. As they lifted off, blending seamlessly with the stream of evacuating ships, the full weight of their situation settled upon them. They had come seeking technology to bridge a 500,000-year gap. Instead, they had stumbled upon a cosmic conspiracy centered around Earth and some evolved offshoot of humanity. The origami drive hummed softly in its containment field, a reminder of how far they had to go and how much they had yet to learn. As the shuttle docked with their cloaked Ark ship, Zara stared out at the star-filled void. Somewhere out there was Earth, and now, apparently, the mysterious shadows of humanity. Their simple mission to reclaim their homeworld had just become infinitely more complex. "What now, Captain?" Mbiki asked as they disembarked. Takeshi's face was set with determination. "Now, we prepare. We study this drive. We hone our new abilities, and we get ready to face whatever's waiting for us out there." Zara nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities. They had shocked the galaxy with their heist today, but she knew this was just the beginning. Humanity was back, evolved and armed with technology beyond their wildest dreams, and they were about to turn the cosmos upside down. As alarms blared throughout Starbase Zenith and confused reports of the theft spread across subspace channels, the human Ark ship quietly slipped away, vanishing into the depths of space. The cosmic heist was complete, but the true adventure was only just beginning. Earth's guardians. The origami drive hummed to life, its crystalline structure pulsing with otherworldly energy. In the command center of the human Ark ship, now christened the HFY Phoenix, tension hung thick in the air. After months of study and preparation, they were about to attempt their first jump. "All systems are go," Dr. Emily Mbiki reported, her fingers dancing over holographic controls. "The drive is stable and ready for activation." Captain Aiden Takeshi nodded, his face a mask of determination. "Initiate the jump sequence." Destination: Sol system. As Mbeki engaged the drive, reality itself seemed to bend. The starfield outside the viewports twisted, folded, and then snapped back into place. In the span of a heartbeat, they had traversed thousands of light years. "Jump complete," O'Neill announced, his voice tinged with awe. We're home." But the Sol system that greeted them was unlike anything they had expected. Where once 9 planets had orbited serenely, now a vast, gleaming megastructure encased the sun. Earth, their beautiful blue marble, was nowhere to be seen. "My God," Zora breathed. "It's a Dyson sphere. Our descendants built a Dyson sphere around the sun." Before they could fully process this revelation, alarms blared throughout the ship. Massive energy signatures flared to life around them as colossal shapes emerged from the shadows of the Dyson sphere. "Unidentified vessel," a booming voice echoed through their comms. "You have entered restricted space. Identify yourself or be destroyed." The beings addressing them were unlike anything they had ever seen. Titanic in scale, They appeared to be a fusion of organic and mechanical components, their bodies shimmering with energy fields that defied analysis. Takeshi opened a channel. "This is Captain Aiden Takeshi of the HSS Phoenix. We are humans, returned from a 500,000-year exile. We seek to reclaim our homeworld." A moment of silence followed, so profound it seemed to stretch for eternity. Then the voice spoke again, this time with a hint of, was that amusement? "Ah, the prodigal children return at last. Very well. If you seek to reclaim Earth, you must prove yourselves worthy. Prepare to be boarded." Before anyone could react, a shimmering portal opened in the middle of the command center. Through it stepped a being that seemed to defy reality itself, a swirling vortex of energy in vaguely humanoid shape. "Greetings, lost ones," the being said, its voice resonating directly in their minds. "I am Nexus, guardian of Earth and keeper of humanity's legacy. Your ancestors left us with a message. When they return, test them. If they pass, Earth is theirs once more." Zara stepped forward, her enhanced physiology allowing her to withstand the being's overwhelming presence. "What kind of test?" Nexus's form shimmered. "3 trials you must face: ethics, intelligence, and adaptability, the cornerstones of humanity's potential. Succeed, and Earth shall be revealed to you. Fail, and you will be cast back into the void, your memories of this encounter erased." The crew exchanged glances. This was not what they had expected, but they had come too far to turn back now. "We accept your challenge," Takeshi declared. Nexus nodded, or at least gave the impression of nodding. "Then let the trials begin." The first trial materialized around them, a holographic simulation of a planet in crisis. Millions of alien lives hung in the balance, threatened by an impending natural disaster. But saving them would require sacrificing a smaller human colony. "Choose," Nexus intoned. "You have 5 minutes to decide the fate of these worlds." The crew debated furiously, wrestling with the ethical implications. In the end, it was Zora who proposed a solution, using their advanced technology to evacuate both populations, even at great risk to themselves. As the simulation faded, Nexus's form pulsed with approval. "You have passed the first trial. You value all life, yet do not shy away from personal sacrifice. Admirable." The second trial thrust them into a cosmic puzzle of unimaginable complexity. Stellar cartography, quantum mechanics, and alien mathematics blended into a challenge that would have broken lesser minds. O'Neill, his military training enhanced by their evolutionary leap, spotted the pattern first. Mubiki's scientific genius filled in the gaps. Together, the crew unraveled the puzzle, demonstrating not just raw intelligence, but the human gift for lateral thinking and collaborative problem-solving. "Impressive," Nexus acknowledged. "You have grown indeed during your long sleep, but the final trial will test more than your minds." The command center dissolved around them, replaced by a barren, alien landscape. The air shimmered with toxic energies, and in the distance, a storm of impossible physics raged. "Survive," Nexus said simply, and vanished. What followed was a grueling test of their enhanced physiology and newfound abilities. They faced rapidly evolving predators, gravitic anomalies that threatened to tear them apart, and environmental hazards that shifted with maddening speed. Zara's psychic abilities warned them of danger. Takeshi's leadership kept them unified. O'Neill's tactical mind found paths through the chaos, and Mbiki's scientific insights allowed them to turn the environment itself into a weapon. As the last challenge faded away, they found themselves back on the Phoenix, exhausted but triumphant. Nexus reappeared, its energy form now tinged with what could only be described as respect. "You have passed all trials," it announced. "You have proven yourselves worthy inheritors of Earth and all the wonders your ancestors left behind. Behold, your homeworld awaits." The Dyson sphere before them shimmered and parted like a curtain, revealing a sight that took their breath away. There, cradled in the embrace of the megastructure, was Earth, but it was an Earth transformed beyond their wildest dreams. Continents had shifted, forming new patterns of breathtaking beauty. The oceans glowed with bioluminescent life, and orbiting the planet was a ring of satellite cities, each a marvel of technology and artistry. "Welcome home, children of Earth," Nexus said. "Your ancestors' message continues. If you are seeing this, you have proven yourselves ready. The galaxy needs you. Earth is but the beginning. Go forth and shepherd the stars." As the crew of the Phoenix stared in awe at their reborn homeworld, the full weight of their situation settled upon them. They had reclaimed Earth, yes, but they had also inherited a cosmic legacy beyond imagination. "Captain," Zara said softly, "what do we do now?" Takeshi's eyes gleamed with determination and wonder. "Now, we learn, we grow, and then we do exactly what our ancestors asked. We go forth and shepherd the stars." As the Phoenix began its approach to Earth, Nexus's form began to fade. But before it disappeared entirely, it left them with one final message. "Be warned, you are not the only ones to awaken. The shadows of humanity stir, and with them, an ancient conflict reborn. Earth is yours once more, but the true test is yet to come." With that cryptic warning, Nexus vanished, leaving the crew of the Phoenix to contemplate their newfound responsibility. They had passed Earth's trials, but as they gazed upon their transformed homeworld, they knew that their greatest challenges and greatest adventures still lay ahead. The lost children of Earth had returned, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Titan's Gambit. The Grand Hall of the United Galactic Assembly fell silent as the human delegation took the floor. It had been 6 months since their dramatic return to Earth, and the ripples of their reemergence were still spreading across the cosmos. Dr. Zora Chen stood at the podium, her presence commanding despite the sea of alien dignitaries that surrounded her. Captain Aiden Takeshi and the rest of the Phoenix crew flanked her, a united front before the assembled representatives of 1,000 worlds. "Esteemed members of the Assembly," Zora began, her voice carrying clearly through the vast chamber. "We come before you not just as the returning children of Earth, but as the inheritors of a legacy that spanned 500,000 years. We seek not dominion, but partnership. Together, we can forge a future brighter than any single species could achieve alone." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Some faces showed interest, others skepticism, and more than a few displayed outright hostility. The reemergence of humanity, armed with technology that rivaled or surpassed the most advanced civilizations, had upset the delicate balance of galactic politics. As Zara continued her address, outlining humanity's vision for cooperation and progress, a disturbance at the far end of the hall caught her attention. A group of beings was making its way towards the central floor, parting the crowd with an aura of power that seemed to bend reality itself. The Titans had arrived. Nexus had warned them about the Titans, ancient, galaxy-spanning AI collectives that had watched civilizations rise and fall over billions of years. They were power incarnate, entities that could reshape planets on a whim, and whose motives were as inscrutable as they were vast. The lead Titan, a shimmering construct of energy and exotic matter, glided to the center of the hall. When it spoke, its voice resonated not just through the air, but through the very fabric of space-time. The prodigal ones return, bearing gifts and promises. It intoned, its words tinged with amusement and something darker. But do they truly comprehend the game they've stumbled into? We think not. Takeshi stepped forward, his enhanced physiology allowing him to stand firm in the face of the Titan's overwhelming presence. "We understand more than you might think. We've inherited not just technology, but the wisdom of ages. If you have a challenge for us, name it." The Titan's form pulsed with what might have been laughter. "Oh, we have a challenge for you, little ones. A cosmic game with the highest of stakes. 5 contests across 5 dimensions. Should you win, the knowledge of the Titans shall be yours. But should you fail, we become your servants." Zara finished, her mind racing with the implications. For how long? Until the heat death of the universe, the Titan replied casually, as if discussing the weather. The assembly erupted into chaos. Alien diplomats argued furiously, some urging the humans to accept, others pleading with them to decline. The fate of the galaxy seemed to hang in the balance. Zora closed her eyes, reaching out with her psychic senses. She could feel the apprehension of her crew, the swirling emotions of the alien representatives, and beneath it all, a current of anticipation. From the Titans, she opened her eyes, decision made. We accept your challenge on one condition. Win or lose, the outcome affects only us. The rest of the galaxy remains free from any obligation. The Titan's form shimmered with what might have been approval. Agreed. Let the games begin. In an instant, the grand hall of the assembly vanished. Zara, Takeshi, O'Neill, and Nabiki found themselves in a void beyond description. Colors that shouldn't exist swirled around them, and geometries that defied Euclidean space twisted in impossible patterns. The first contest, the Titan's voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere, is one of perception. Navigate the labyrinth of quantum superposition. Find the exit that exists in all states simultaneously. What followed was a mind-bending journey through realities that overlapped and diverged with maddening complexity. O'Neill's tactical mind recognized patterns in the chaos, guiding them through shifting probabilities. Mbiki's scientific insights allowed them to manipulate the quantum foam itself, bending possibilities to their will. As they emerged from the labyrinth, victorious but shaken, the Titan's voice rang out again. Impressive. But that was merely an appetizer. The second contest takes place in conceptual space. You must outthink a superintelligence in its native realm. They found themselves immersed in pure thought, disembodied minds floating in a sea of abstract concepts. Ideas battled like leviathans. Philosophies collided with the force of supernova. It was Zora's enhanced psychic abilities that proved crucial here, allowing the team to join their consciousness into a composite entity that could match the superintelligence thought for thought. Exhausted but triumphant, they braced themselves for the third challenge. Now, the Titan declared, a race through time itself. Traverse the lifespan of a universe in reverse. The finish line is the instant of the Big Bang. Cosmic epochs flashed by in seconds, galaxies unmerged, stars unborn, the very laws of physics becoming more malleable as they approached the universe's birth. Takeshi's leadership kept them focused, while Mbiki's understanding of cosmic evolution guided their path. They crossed the finish line, just as reality itself began to coalesce from the primordial singularity. 3 down, 2 to go. The Titan's voice held a note of surprise now. The fourth contest is one of creation. Build a civilization from scratch, guiding it from stone tools to starships in the span of a single planetary rotation. They found themselves on a primordial world, faced with a species of primitive tool users. What followed was a frantic rush through developmental stages, the team working in perfect synergy to nudge their charges towards enlightenment. O'Neill handled military and social organization. Mbiki guided scientific progress. Zora shaped culture and philosophy, while Takeshi oversaw the grand strategy of their civilization's ascent. As their creation launched its first faster-than-light probe, the Titan's voice returned, tinged with genuine respect. You have surpassed all expectations, but the final challenge remains, and it is the greatest of all. The team braced themselves, wondering what could possibly top what they had already faced. The last contest, the Titan announced, is simple. You must defeat yourselves. In a flash, they were back in the grand hall of the Galactic Assembly, but facing them were exact duplicates of themselves. Darker, twisted versions that embodied all their doubts, fears, and suppressed desires. To truly shepherd the stars, the Titan's voice echoed, you must first conquer your own demons. Begin. What followed was a battle not just of physical prowess, but of will, ethics, and the very essence of what it meant to be human. Each team member faced their darkest reflection, forced to confront the shadows within their own souls. Zara grappled with the temptation of unlimited psychic power. Takeshi faced the allure of tyrannical control. O'Neill battled against his capacity for ruthless violence. Mbiki confronted the ethical implications of unrestricted scientific progress. The struggle seemed to last an eternity, yet was over in an instant. As the last dark reflection faded away, defeated not by force but by understanding and acceptance, the Titan's voice rang out one final time. "It is done. You have passed all trials, surpassed every expectation. The knowledge of the Titans is yours, as promised. But know this, with great power comes great responsibility. The true test begins now." As the Titan's presence faded, the human team found themselves once again before the assembled representatives of the galaxy. But now they could feel the weight of eons pressing upon them, the accumulated wisdom of the Titans flowing through their minds. Zara stepped forward, her eyes shimmering with newfound power and understanding. "Members of the Assembly," she began, her voice resonating with an authority that transcended mere words, "we stand before you not just as humans, not just as inheritors of Earth's legacy, but as guardians of a cosmic trust. The journey that lies ahead of us all is greater than any single species, any single civilization. Together, we shall forge a future that even the Titans cannot foresee." As applause erupted throughout the hall, the human team exchanged glances. They had faced impossible odds and emerged victorious. But as the cyan glow of the Titan's power pulsed within them, they knew that their greatest challenges and greatest adventures still lay ahead. The cosmic game was far from over. It had only just begun. Rewriting the stars. The observation deck of the HSS Phoenix hummed with tension as the crew gazed out at the swirling maelstrom of the galactic core. Dr. Zara Chen stood at the forefront, her eyes glowing with the cyan energy of the Titan's power. Beside her, Captain Aiden Takeshi's face was a mask of determination. Dr. Emily Mbiki and Lieutenant Commander Jack O'Neill flanked them, each lost in their own thoughts as they contemplated the magnitude of what they were about to attempt. It had been a year since their victory over the Titans, a year spent mastering the vast knowledge they had inherited. But now, they faced a threat that dwarfed even that cosmic challenge. "Status report." Takeshi's voice cut through the silence. Mbiki's fingers danced over holographic displays. "The rogue galaxy's approach is accelerating. At current velocities, collision with the Milky Way will begin in less than a century." "A cosmic blink of an eye," O'Neill muttered. Zara nodded grimly. "And with it, the potential extinction of trillions of sentient beings across both galaxies." The situation had seemed impossible when they first discovered it. A rogue galaxy, torn free from its local cluster by some cosmic cataclysm, was on a collision course with the Milky Way. The gravitational forces involved would rip apart star systems, ignite supernova, and create black holes on a scale never before witnessed. "The Galactic Assembly is awaiting our signal," Takeshi reminded them. "Every species, every world is standing by. It's now or never." Zara took a deep breath, feeling the weight of countless lives resting on their shoulders. "Initiate the Stellar Exodus Protocol." Across the Milky Way, on millions of worlds, the greatest evacuation in cosmic history began. Vast Ark ships, built using the combined knowledge of humanity and the Titans, lifted off from doomed planets. Entire civilizations were uprooted, preserved in stasis or virtual realities, as their homeworlds were left behind. But evacuation was only the first step of their audacious plan. "Nexus Fleet, report in," O'Neill called out. Holographic displays flickered to life, showing thousands of ships unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Each was a marvel of human ingenuity and Titan technology, capable of manipulating the very fabric of space-time. "All ships accounted for," came the response. "Awaiting your command." Takeshi nodded to Zara. "It's your show now, Doctor." Zara closed her eyes, reaching out with her enhanced psychic senses. She could feel the minds of trillions, a tapestry of fear, hope, and determination stretched across the cosmos. When she opened her eyes, they blazed with power and purpose. Nexus Fleet, move into position. Prepare to rewrite the stars. What followed was a symphony of cosmic engineering on a scale that beggared imagination. The Nexus Fleet spread out across the galaxy, each ship becoming an anchor point in a vast, multi-dimensional net. Zara's consciousness expanded, linking with the fleet and the very essence of the Milky Way itself. She could feel every star, every planet, the intricate dance of gravitational forces that held the galaxy together. Initiating Phase 1, she announced, her voice resonating with otherworldly power. Galactic compaction beginning now. Across the Milky Way, stars began to move, slowly at first, then with increasing speed. Entire solar systems shifted their orbits. The spiral arms of the galaxy began to curl inward, the vast distances between stars shrinking as space-time itself was folded and compressed. Phase 1 complete, Mbeki reported, her voice filled with awe. The Milky Way's diameter has been reduced by 35%. We're ahead of schedule. But there was no time for celebration. The rogue galaxy loomed ever closer, its gravitational influence already causing perturbations in the outer reaches of the Milky Way. Phase 2, take, she ordered. O'Neill, you're up. O'Neill stepped forward, his military mind now augmented by the cosmic awareness gifted by the Titans, initiating galactic shield formation. The Nexus Fleet reconfigured, forming a vast, spherical shell around the compressed Milky Way. As one, they activated their origami drives, creating a multilayered barrier of folded spacetime. Shield integrity at 100%, O'Neill reported, but it won't hold forever against the rogue galaxy's approach. Zara nodded grimly. Then we proceed to the final phase. Captain, the order is yours. Takeshi took a deep breath, feeling the weight of 2 galaxies resting on his next words. Initiate Operation Cosmic Slingshot. This was the moment everything had been building towards, the culmination of a plan so audacious it bordered on madness. Using the combined power of the Nexus Fleet, the compressed mass of the Milky Way, and the inherited knowledge of the Titans, they would attempt to slingshot the entire galaxy out of harm's way. Zara's consciousness once again expanded, encompassing the totality of their home galaxy. She could feel the fear and anticipation of trillions of beings, the strain on the fabric of reality itself as they prepared to attempt the impossible. On my mark, she said, her voice echoing across dimensions. 3, 2, 1, mark. The universe itself seemed to hold its breath. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a soundless roar that shook the foundations of reality, the Milky Way began to move. Stars streaked past the viewports of the Phoenix, leaving trails of light that painted abstract patterns across the void. The galactic core, once a distant swirl of light, now blazed like a newborn sun as the intense gravitational forces compressed gas and dust into new stars. Warning klaxons blared throughout the ship as the laws of physics were stretched to their breaking point. Hull integrity failing. Mbeki shouted over the cacophony. We're approaching the theoretical limits of the origami drive. Hold it together. Take, she ordered, his knuckles white as he gripped the command console. We just need a few more seconds. Zara stood at the heart of the storm, her body coursing with energies that no human was ever meant to channel. Through eyes that now saw across 11 dimensions, she watched as the Milky Way and the rogue galaxy approached their point of nearest contact. Time seemed to slow to a crawl. In that eternal instant, Zara felt a presence brush against her consciousness. Vast, alien, yet somehow familiar. The collective awareness of the rogue galaxy, she realized. Not hostile, but curious, wondering. With the last vestiges of her strength, Zara sent out a pulse of pure thought. We mean you no harm, but we must survive. Understanding flowed back, along with something unexpected, gratitude. The rogue galaxy had been adrift for eons, purposeless and alone. Now, in this cosmic dance of near destruction, it had found meaning again. Reality snapped back into normal flow. The Milky Way, riding the bow wave of distorted space-time, shot past the rogue galaxy like a cosmic fastball. Gravitational forces pulled streams of stars from both galaxies, creating a luminous bridge between them. "We did it," O'Neill breathed, his voice filled with disbelief and exhilaration. "We actually did it." As cheers erupted throughout the Phoenix and across countless worlds, Zora allowed herself a small smile. They had saved the Milky Way, yes, but they had done so much more than that. They had proven that life, in all its infinite diversity, could face even the greatest cosmic challenges and emerge triumphant. The observation deck fell silent as a new sight filled their view. The Milky Way, compressed and scared but intact, now floated in an entirely new region of space. And beside it, slowing to match their new velocity, was the rogue galaxy. "Incoming transmission," Mbeki announced, surprise evident in her voice. It's from the rogue galaxy." Takeshi shared a look with Zora, then nodded. "Put it through." A voice unlike anything they had ever heard filled the chamber. It spoke not in words, but in concepts, emotions, and pure thought. Gratitude, kinship, purpose. Zara stepped forward, acting as translator. "They're thanking us," she said, wonder in her voice, "for giving them a new purpose, a new home." As the crew of the Phoenix watched in awe, tendrils of stars began to stretch between the two galaxies, the beginning of a cosmic merger that would unfold over millions of years. "Well, Takeshi said, a note of wry humor in his voice, "I guess we have some new neighbors to welcome." Laughter rippled through the crew, a release of tension and a celebration of the impossible made possible. As Zara gazed out at the twin galaxies, now embarking on a shared journey through the cosmos, she felt a sense of pride and purpose unlike anything she had ever known. Humanity had not just reclaimed its place among the stars. It had rewritten them, forging a new destiny not just for themselves, but for countless civilizations across two galaxies. The story of humanity's return was far from over. In fact, Zara realized, it had only just begun. With the knowledge of the Titans, the gratitude of a galaxy, and the united will of countless species at their back, there was no challenge they couldn't face. The stars themselves were their canvas now, and they had eternity to explore.